I'm excited to bring in Cara Wood. She has been in e-commerce and around e-commerce for a long time and working on the tech provider side. Cara, hey, here you are.
Hey,
Hello.
sorry, just using a new computer, so still getting used to the layout. How are you?
Sick brat. But that's awesome. And you're in Martinez, right? Just not too far away from me, actually.
Yep, pretty
That's
close.
awesome. Yeah, we threw this in maybe as a surprise session because I really just wanted to pick your brain about what you know about Black Friday, Cyber Monday. We talked a little bit about pricing strategy, but I'd love to just talk with you briefly about email marketing automation strategy, what we might miss, what marketers might often miss from like things that we might need to change that are like automated, like things going out today that we might want to revamp or change, and then like what you've seen from like leading merchants since you've worked so closely with so many of them on what they typically do. Before we get into all that, though, tell us a little bit about you and your background.
Sure. So I've been a professional marketer for 6 years now. I started off at Cara. I don't know. You guys might know them. They are a software directory.
Capterra,
And
boo, e-commerce tech, yeah.
I think, some people specialize in things better than Cara. And then I've kind of bopped around doing different things. I've done a lot of e-commerce side projects in particular. Actually helped start a Shopify store, which was really fun. That was like a summer project at one point. And then I have just spent the past 2 years working for ShopPad, which makes about 12 Shopify apps. And it's been super fun. I just took my leave from ShopPad because I'm branching out into the world of freelancing again. So if you need a marketer, let me know. But yeah,
Awesome.
that's kind of I'm a marketing automation expert by training, but I also do a lot of content writing. So I kind of balance between the content and marketing automation roles.
I love it. Perfect. So we're going to talk email automation specifically today. Maybe SMS and Messenger kind of come into play there as well. And then if you're listening to this and you're like, there's no way I can do all that by Black Friday, then talk to Cara and we'll plug her email address and how to get in touch with her here in just a second. So let's start at the top of Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I would imagine most people start with just like one big email to the whole list, and that's how they like start promoting this. Or maybe
Yeah,
we should even we ramp up to it months ahead of time is also the other part. But it always seems like it's just one big Black Friday email. Like the whole campaign strategy is like, we're going to send one email. I don't know. Maybe there's more to it. Tell me the whole process as you see it.
Yeah, so I would say the one big Black Friday blast is kind of your most basic. If you have nothing else, you should be doing this thing. Um, and it's gonna, like, everyone in the retail world is gonna be doing this. So you're basically sending this email into a void of other retailers who are also screaming in a promotional inbox. So if you're only gonna do this email, which you should at least do this email, make sure that you are picking a peculiar time. A lot of retailers are going to be sending right first thing in the morning. We're talking 6 to 8 a.m. Send it after that, honestly, 10 a.m., 11 a.m. That's going to be a later time that people are not sending it as much. Make sure that your subject line stands out. One of the things I always recommend is using weird capitalization and punctuation because it really stands out in an inbox. And then emojis. I am not an
I was about to
emoji
ask.
lover personally, but they work
Oh,
really well in email subject lines. And then anything you can do to personalize it. So if you can get that person's first name in there, or maybe something about the location that they live in, you are golden. Then after that, this is kind of where I think some more fun automation can come into it, is you can kind of break out on the day who's opened this email, who hasn't, who's clicked it, what did they click, and you can use that to follow up with more specific emails. So, if you send out an email at 6 a.m. and 40,000 people didn't open it, just resend the email to them with a different subject line, honestly. You don't know that the content didn't work, you just know the subject line didn't, or the time. And then for the people who did open it but didn't click, you want to start sending them more personalized products, things. If you've had them on your website before, if you have any data, purchase data about them, send more dynamic content to them related to products that they've viewed in the past, stuff like that. If you've got something that they viewed in the past, or better yet, have in their cart that has gone on sale, send that out to them and let them know. So that one big promotional blast, it's really a great way of doing research, so to speak, on the segments you should be talking to during the weekend. And like, no one likes working the weekend, but you really have to be.
This is the weekend you have to work.
Yeah, you got to be responding to it. So that's what I would definitely recommend with the promotional blast.
I like it. So we're saying basically we've still got this one upfront blast planned, and then from there you're going to expect to see kind of a trickle down of segments emerge, and then we'll either prepare out or have some pre-prepared follow-ups to each of those segments. I especially think, yeah, the depending on product viewed or product in cart, you're going to want to put that trigger in there. And then you hinted at it, anybody that maybe viewed the product in the last month but didn't buy, this is going to, win back a lot of those people. So what about maybe briefly bring me into the omni-channel experience? When you're thinking, I know, right? Like, but SMS, Messenger, or other channels, like how might I think to incorporate those in with my email automation?
Totally. So I think that SMS automation and if you can do it, ad automation, they all should work together. I use HubSpot a lot, so I tend to think of these things as interconnected. If you're running one part, you should be responding with the other. And on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, it's very common for people to jump around websites to add something to a cart or to view a product and then think, I should go research elsewhere and see if I can get this cheaper or something similar. And you want to take the time to kind of view their experience with your brand as not just on your website, but actually everywhere they go that day. So you want to be reaching out to their email. You want to be reaching out to their social media. You want to be appearing in their Google feed. You want to be hitting up their phone by text. And you don't want to be annoying about it, but
you want to be everywhere.
Yeah, wherever they're looking, you want to be there. So when I say send an email out or follow up with somebody, I would generally advise you, whatever other channels you have available to automate, go ahead and just throw a text message in there or an ad. That's probably the best way to do it. And then were we talking about email automation did I miss that part for Black Friday?
You mean the actual, like the checkout or the...
So in addition to sending that promotional blast, you also want to have automated email set up?
Yeah, the trigger is based on what actually happens. Yeah, absolutely. Let's get into it.
Yeah. So there are two emails that you should definitely have automated kind of specially for Black Friday outside of your normal automation. The first one I would say is definitely your abandoned cart email. And while you should normally have this, during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, you should be running this automation pretty quickly. So typically stores will wait between 5 to 24 hours before they send out the first abandoned cart email, which I think is generally pretty good practice. But on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, we're all running very time-sensitive promotions, and we're competing in a very heavy environment. So you want to make sure that your emails are going out very quickly. If they abandon the cart, 30 minutes, don't wait. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the other
really
one,
quick fun fact, Shopify delays abandoned cart 20 minutes naturally. So you can basically send it as soon as Shopify abandoned cart triggers. That because like if you send it 30 minutes after that, then it's basically an hour. So that's the set time that Shopify calls it an abandoned cart, because you have to think of it, abandoned carts, and what that means is I went to the cart or checkout page and I didn't continue with my purchase. Well, maybe I just went to grab my credit card and I'm coming right back. So you need a few minutes before it's really called an abandoned cart, right? So that's the time limit that they set on it. And so when that triggers, typically that's what's going to push to either your email or SMS automation tool. It's going to come from Shopify and push to that your third party solution, and or an Omni Send who's speaking tomorrow. I guess I should make sure and plug them. And then from there you can choose the delay after that 20 minutes. And so I agree completely on rush it out there instead of 1 hour, 24 hours, 3 days. What do you think then? Like now, 10 minutes from now, maybe that's too soon.
You don't want to come across too desperate. I think if you can get your messaging faster via advertisement, that's probably the way to go. It's a little bit more passive if it comes in advertisement form, like on Instagram or whatever. But yeah, I would say definitely no more than 30 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. Although if Shopify's got this 20-minute delay, just let it go out immediately. 20 minutes is perfect.
Perfect. We'll start there. Yeah. And then what second automation is now probably the same day, later that same day?
Yeah. Honestly, probably maybe 4 hours later. Because with every hour that goes by, you are losing sales. So don't wait. People expect retailers to be desperate for BFCM. So you can make up for it later in the holiday season.
Yeah, I agree completely. So we're talking like specifically the takeaway is shorten the automation period. So instead of dripping out over extended period of time, shorten it. What about the copy? I guess we're changing it to match the sale or promo copy. Anything else specific to the copy we should mention?
So one thing I think would be really cool, and I haven't actually tried this out, so I don't know how well it would work, but I think adding a countdown timer into the email to like really bring home, you've only got 3 hours left to get this. Especially if you're doing doorbusters, anything that's going to last less than the whole 4-day weekend, like just let them know. You don't have to make it look bad, but anything you can do to kind of ramp the urgency without ramping the word count, so to speak.
Awesome. I agree completely. And Teresa says scarcity timers work really well for us. In this case, the scarcity is real. The only thing that I advise against every time is don't use false scarcity in your business. Don't put a timer on a sale that literally never ends. It does work to increase conversion rate today, but you're diluting a brand that you need to market for years to come. Hopefully, with at least that's how I position these events, and the people I want to talk with are the ones building those long-term digitally native vertical brands.
Absolutely.
So, all right. What else should we talk about? Yeah, what do you got?
In addition to cart abandonment, I actually think on BFCM specifically, product page abandonment is a great trigger. They're a little bit less further down the funnel, but sending out an email that's a little bit less urgent than an abandoned cart email, maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes later, just being like, hey, you forgot something and it's not on sale for much longer. Or it'll go back to regular price at the end of the weekend. I think that's a really great automation to have up and running, that these are just things that are going to react to what's happening on your site without you even having to think about them.
Yeah, I love that. And I suppose we also want on that maybe segmentation front, as opposed to it being an automation, before the sale ends, we might create a segment and then that like last call final offer. So you might imagine somebody going through the journey, maybe they come in on Friday and they abandon cart and they didn't do anything for all of Friday and Saturday, and the sale ends, let's just say that in this case, Sunday, maybe it ends Monday, but it ends Sunday. And so Sunday at noon, they're getting it's not a dripped automation, but it's a segmentation, absolute last call email that goes out to anybody that viewed those product detail pages, and making sure they convert. So
yeah, absolutely. And I would even take that a step further. So we know that customers start doing their BFCM research October-ish. at the same time that they're coming to the website to research your products, you should be kind of researching them. I would definitely recommend starting to segment people out by products they've viewed over the past month or two. And at the beginning of the sale, you could even take that big promotional blast, and instead of sending it to everyone kind of all the same, send out different emails to people who've been interested in things that are now doorbusters, or if you have something that's now bundled up together, send out an email that's specifically related to that bundle to the people who looked at one of those products. Because the more you can make these emails match what they have been looking for, the better they're going to do.
Yeah, I agree completely. That's awesome. All right, Cara, final thoughts, or maybe biggest takeaway or biggest mistake you think merchants might make that we can prevent them from making?
I think the biggest mistake I see in general with email is that it's not, people don't treat it as a reactive environment. They just sort of send out an email and hope that people have listened to their announcement. But nearly as much as social media, email and marketing automation is a reactive environment. So take the time to get to know your customers before, as we're coming into BFCM, and then throughout the weekend, they're telling you what they're interested in using their clicks and whatnot. Listen to them and respond to them.
Yeah, I love it. Awesome. And when would you want to work with merchants? When should they bring you into the mix?
For email campaigns, the sooner the better is usually how I would say it, because we can set up an automation and we can leave it there for as long as you want until you're ready to turn it on. And then for the promotional blasts, also the sooner the better. These things can kind of sit on the shelf for a little bit. So
yeah, and I agree completely that today, I mean, we're only, you said people are researching in October. So we're 2 days away from people visiting your site just to know what they might buy in 2 months. You can even think about how you might change the wording on your pop-ups to say, are you here researching about Black Friday, Cyber Monday? Give us your email today. We'll let you know when the promo goes live, right? And you want to be careful in how you maybe mitigate today's sales, but you really do want to start collecting the email addresses and the messenger and the SMS and in any other channel, as well as we have the ad buckets we can put people into as well. And preparing for when you can launch to them. Because obviously the larger your list today, the more people you're going to be able to immediately drive back to the site during that campaign. So yeah, it's warm up time. It's go time.
Exactly.
Awesome. Cool. Awesome. Joanna says, can I get your information? Yeah, we'll make sure, Joanna, to pass that along to you. Cara, thank you so much for joining us. We are going to move into our next brand interview. Oh, and perfect. I've got to do some magic here. We've got 2 Travis Crosses. That's why. And I think Billy is now renamed. Hopefully I renamed the right person. All right. Thanks again, Cara. And I look forward to seeing you at another one of our events. We'll talk even more about this.
Talk to you later. Bye.
All right.